This is for real.
It's working. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rum Regret podcast. I am Andy Drake.
Johanna Myers.
Nate Tussey, and we drink and we know things.
It is Tuesday, July 12th. And today we are going to talk The Boys and Stranger Things. We have all caught up on, The Boys just ended last weekend. And we're all caught up on the last two super epic episodes of Stranger Things season 4. So
Double feature,
we will,
as it were. Yeah.
yeah. So we'll get the group's reaction to both those after our segments here. So Joe, how's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah.
On the horror corner today, we got news that, and you're going to love this, the Black Phone is going to be available video on demand this Friday.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have to go out in the unwashed masses to go see it.
Yeah, I've heard so much great stuff about this film. I cannot wait to sink my teeth into this.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna see about watching it this weekend and be hitting you
All
up.
right. Yeah, maybe we can convince Nate to watch a horror movie.
Oh, stop. I've got something for the horror corner that I will watch 100 times. So when Joe's done, I got something for that.
Well,
ass.
okay then.
So next is the horrible Midnight Mass Emmy snub.
Yeah.
Not one
dude.
nomination at all for Midnight Mass.
Yep.
Dude, for
Yeah.
real.
That is a damn shame.
I saw that text
Yeah.
that you gave us from
Hamish, what was his name? Hamish
Hamish
Linklater?
Hamish Linklater.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yeah, that is a. Now I know that you have to, like, petition, or you have to submit yourself, right?
Right.
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
maybe he just didn't submit himself because that's a massive oversight.
Yeah.
Anyway, my 2 cents. Continue.
And I ended up watching The Forest, which has Marjorie from Game of Thrones, and she gets a call from a twin sister that her twin sister is dead and was last seen in the Okigahara Forest, which is the Japanese suicide forest at the base of Mount Fuji.
Oh,
Which is a real place. It's a forest where, like, just people walk into the forest and don't walk out.
Damn.
oh, damn.
They just go in there to die.
They get panded.
Oh,
Oh, look at the fuzzy.
Oh.
They are bears, ladies and gentlemen. It's not.
Yeah, but yeah, it's habitually a place people go to kill themselves. So
No
the movie is,
way.
because she's a twin, she's like, I can feel my sister's not dead. It's a twin thing, and she goes to Japan to go
Ooh.
find her.
Okay.
And all hell ensues, and I'm not going to say whether she finds her sister or not, but
Okay. Where does this rate on the scale?
this is probably a good 6 to 7.
Okay. All right. I will. I got to check that out. That sounds that I am. My curiosity is piqued.
And that's it for the horror corner.
Okay. All
Ooh,
right.
may I append?
Oh,
You
something to that horror
may
corner?
append.
Like I said, I got something for that ass because bow wow wow, Snoop Dogg and Jamie Foxx are killing vampires in
Yeah.
LA.
Dude,
This
that
is my kind
trailer.
of horror shit.
That trailer
apparently,
looks so good.
isn't it great? Like, so the guy that does the stunt work for John Wick apparently does the stunt work for this. So,
Oh man.
which is why they throw that in the trailer. It's
Yeah.
it looks super cool. Anything vampire, and especially this kind of like, Dusk Till Dawn kind of, Carpenter's vampire type stuff. I'm all about. So I'm super excited for that. It's supposed to come out 2022, August 12th.
August 12th.
So, yeah, we got a month from today.
A month. Yeah, we have a month.
Good times. So that's my little contribution there.
Nice. Let's jump into the Marvel Minute.
So
I love the dramatic pause right before that. That was great.
Yeah. So I'm going to embellish that even more now because Addie is now a regular listener to our podcast, which is like, oh God.
She's the one?
No, it's more of like, it was her and somebody else both said, like, whenever I hear you do that, I can see your face making the noises or something like that.
That's funny. That's so great.
Like, okay, well, we got to lean into it.
I love it.
Let's see. All right, so Marvel Minute is kind of all over the place. Last couple of weeks, a lot of stuff happened, but not a whole lot of major note. Let's see where my notes are. Let's see. So the actor who played Han Solo, not Harrison Ford. The hell's his name?
Not Aaron something. Aaron
Edgerton something or?
No,
that's Taron Egerton, who they're talking to apparently for Alden Heinreich. EHRENREICH. Fuck, that's Slavic of some kind. Anyway, so back to the notes. He is officially joined the Ironheart cast. So that's the kind of Iron Man adjacent project for Disney Plus, and they're going to introduce Riri Williams in the new Black Panther 2 Wakanda movie. So they're basically introducing her in that movie, and then she's going to have her own Disney Plus spinoff where she's in an Iron Man suit kind of thing. That'll be super cool. Miss Marvel series finale is on Wednesday.
Right.
That show has been kind of all over the map, and I think really the best thing to say about it is the way that they portray the culture and that family is the best part about the show. It's really not the superhero anything.
Right. The most interesting part is Partition, and I've been more interested in that than really anything else.
Right.
I really dug last week's episode. It seemed like that was more of an origin story episode than like it seems like a weird penultimate episode.
Yeah, I mean, the flashback stuff was really cool, and obviously it's something you can call kind of what they're going to go with it at the beginning of the episode. But the thing that really bothered me is that, I mean, we don't want to get into this because we're kind of talking to each other here, but the way that like the quote unquote villain of the show just ices herself and that's it. Like, okay,
yeah, and I don't.
That was a very quick turn from "I'm going to kill you" to "I can do something." Like, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to watch it again.
Right? I don't know that. Yeah, if she was supposed to be the big bad of the season,
right?
Like, it didn't come across that way at all. It just seemed like she was a speed bump in the road to her sort of fully realizing herself as Miss Marvel.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens in the finale. So obviously we're going to get her in the suit, and hopefully we get a Captain Marvel cameo, because this is the whole reason this show exists is to set up the Marvel's movie, which is
right.
So and they do a ramp up to that. So we'll see.
Yeah, and that's the one thing too about the show is that it's hard for me to see her throwing down with other Avengers.
With the strongest Avenger, Captain Marvel.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's it's that like content of the show aside, just putting her in a movie with Miss Marvel with Captain Marvel, is like Okay.
Yeah,
How's
it'll
that
be
team up?
interesting. Yeah,
How's that team up gonna fly?
yeah, exactly. Literally, how's that going to fly?
Yeah. All right.
Let's see what else we got here. Loki earned 6 Emmy nominations. So, outstanding production design, we knew they were going to get that. Outstanding cinematography, we knew they were going to get that. Outstanding fantasy or sci-fi costumes, given outstanding music composition for a series, which is great. Outstanding main title theme music and outstanding
Yeah.
sound editing. So no fucking acting nods at all for any of these awesome properties. Are you fucking kidding me?
Don't
I
get
know
me
how
wrong.
you feel.
Yeah.
So
Don't get me wrong. The Loki theme is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's great. I
that
love
makes
all the
sense.
supporting noms, but for the love of God, like, you decide to not nominate Anthony Starr at all. You completely blow past Midnight Mass. Like, all of the popular, amazing acting gets completely ignored by the fucking old white-blooded men. It's fucking
Yeah.
blue-blooded men. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I fucking hate it. But at least they're getting something. But for the love of God, some of the best acting you've ever seen in like The Boys and in Loki and shit like that. So
Yeah, I have a feeling that they again who was the last I mean, what was the last acting nod for a is that Joaquin Phoenix?
for Joker,
Yeah,
yeah,
was that the last sort of for any comic book inspired movie, I guess?
right, yeah, and that wasn't even a comic book movie, right? Like, it's just
Right.
inspired by, yeah, I think so. I mean, the most major snub that I can think of is recently is RDJ for Endgame because he acted the shit out of that. Then I guess also Tom Holland for Spider-Man, but anyway,
Well, and there was a tweet from Eric Kripke that said the boys. I'm assuming they're talking about this season. I guess it didn't make the cutoff for this
for
Emmy,
submission.
but it's
Mm,
next year they'll
gotcha.
be
There should be some
able
Boys
to go
versus
for it.
Kenobi action then, literally.
Eh,
Like the Battle of the
yeah.
Beards will be in the Emmys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, they get it one more year to get their shit together.
Yeah,
You're
get it
on
right.
notice, Emmys. Just
Yeah.
take it from Rum and Regret. Let's see. Chadwick Boseman actually earned a posthumous Emmy nomination for his
That's right.
VO for Star-Lord, which is awesome. The unfortunate tragedy is that he's up against Jeffrey Wright's performance as the Watcher in What
Oh,
If,
wow.
and also Murray Abraham's Khonshu at Moon Knight. So, I mean,
Interesting.
whoever wins, the nerddom wins, but we'll see how that goes down. Let's see. Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm not going to spoil anything, but fucking hell, it was so much fun. Like,
really?
Yeah, man. I think about like how much fun you had watching Bill and Ted. Like, that's the kind of fun I had watching this movie. It's fucking great.
Nice.
If you go in expecting like a fun 80s action movie, that's exactly what you get. Like it's an action movie with a little bit of like drama to make it so it's not so over the top, but that's bullshit because
I'm just curious who's going into this expecting anything else.
I can't believe
Taika Waititi.
People downvoted this movie like crazy. It was nuts. Like it cost $250 million to make allegedly, and made over $300 million in a global weekend debut.
Right. Yeah.
And if you liked Ragnarok, this is Taika turned up to 11. Like
that's great.
It's silly and stupid and amazing and wonderful, and the fucking soundtrack. They paid Guns N' Roses so much fucking money for this movie. They use at least parts from 4 songs, at least in this movie. So yeah, go see it. If you can see it on the biggest screen you can, go fucking do it, because it's a spectacular movie. It's actually more vivid than Ragnarok, if that's possible.
Oh wow!
In certain scenes. So, and the opening battle, I can't ruin it. This movie had so many like, I can't believe they just fucking did that, and I can't stop laughing moments in it. I'm grinning even thinking about it. Yeah, the whole movie I was grinning like an idiot. You know, with the exception of the unexpectedly dark and dramatic parts, because Christian Bale fucking kills this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he is so good as Gore the God Butcher. And even though they had some issues with like Gore's appearance, because it's kind of he looks kind of like Voldemort, so you couldn't really do that in live action,
Right.
and without obviously drawing the parallels. So they didn't really do that. But man, he's like, I heard somebody talking about this today. Like, reminds you a little bit of the completely unhinged animated series Joker, where like in certain parts where he's like, he's laughing, but you're fucking terrified kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, he acts the shit out of this, and it's just amazing. I don't really want to give anything else away, but God, fuck, it's so good. I can't wait to see it again. So, I got to see that again before it comes out of the theater. But if you can go see it in the biggest screen you can, and it's definitely worth a theater watch. Let's see. Marvel Studios found its Captain America 4 director. So the Hollywood Reporter shared that Nigerian-American filmmaker Julius Hona, who is best known for helming the Cloverfield Paradox, was tapped to direct Captain America 4. Yeah. Interesting choice. I think it'll be great because obviously you've got Sam Wilson as Cap now. So
yeah,
I think that's the right choice as far as the kind of director to make that movie. Apparently there's an Avengers short on the Disney cruise. Have you guys seen this?
no.
There's like a 17-minute Avengers movie if you go on the Disney cruise. And it literally opens with Ant-Man addressing the Thanos problem. The Thanos theory.
That seems a little much for a Disney cruise.
Yeah.
That's what I said. The whole thing's on YouTube. You can look it up. It's hilarious.
Oh, that's funny.
Brie Larson's in it. A bunch of other people are in it. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. It's worth looking up. So many people have just recorded it and put it on YouTube.
Okay.
Let's see. They revealed Namor, who's the main potential villain of Black Panther 2, and he looks fucking awesome. He's basically, if you know the comic books at all, Namor was kind of looks like a pale, dark-haired elf, basically, but with wings on his ankles. So no, he's not like Aquaman with the whole talk to fish thing. He is a like Superman level quickness, strength, flight, ruler of Atlantis kind of thing, right?
Okay.
And what's really cool about this artist rendition, or hopefully they go this way in the movie, is that he's got this crazy Aztec vibe overlaid on top of this character. So imagine what I just described to you with like cool like Aztec stone jade armor pieces and bracelets and shit like that. It's really fucking cool, and I hope they go that route to kind of rewrite the character, or at least the fact that he might be into that shit or something.
Okay.
So I thought that was really cool. And let's see, what was the other thing I found? So apparently, we talked about this a while ago, fan casting for X-Men, about Taron Egerton from Golden Circle.
Elton John, Eddie the Eagle.
It's not the Golden Circle. Kingsman. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, Kingsman.
Golden Circle is the sequel. People were talking about him for Wolverine. Apparently, he's actually in talks with Marvel Studios right now. We don't know for what, but it's been confirmed that he's meeting with them. So,
dude, that's solid casting if it happens. I'm just saying right now.
100%. This is something else we need to put on our list. Like in addition to your Star Trek tour, kind of Sherpa Star Trek episode is the fan cast for X-Men in the MCU. We should definitely do that. Let's see. I think that's all I got. I talked Miss Marvel. I talked Thor. So
all right. So let's jump into streaming service selections of the week. When last we met, I gave you guys homework, and I know at least one of you did your homework.
Fuck.
I did a little bit of my homework.
Wait, what was the homework? I forget.
Evil.
No, I didn't.
All right, so
if
that's
the
okay.
Homework was Star Trek and Strange New Worlds, then yes, I did my homework.
All right. So anyway, Evil is still trucking along. I love this show so much. I want you guys to get on this one so bad. Joe, what did you think? Did you only watch one episode?
Yeah. and it's good. It tickles my kind of Law and Order Hannibal bone of like procedural drama, but with a twist.
Right. Yeah. Dude, it gets so much stronger as the season goes on. And I mean, the main team is so great alone, but Michael Emerson just kills it as
Oh my god!
as the creepy guy. I mean, that's such his wheelhouse, and he plays it
The
to a
minute I
T.
saw him, I was like, Ben, no, I missed
Right.
you.
Yeah. And then the first two seasons had the late great Peter Scolari in it from Bosom Buddies, but and so as sort of the Monsignor figure there. But again, this series is so good, and it just got renewed for season 4, so I'm so excited for this. So
Holy
Nate,
crap!
It's on my damn list. Jesus.
yeah.
3
So
seasons.
the third season is 4 episodes in, I think, right now. So it's on a weekly release schedule. So
right. Adding to the WTW, what to watch? It's Evil, and it's on what network?
Paramount Plus.
P Plus. Cool.
So yeah, it was on the network prior, but then it just went to the streaming service, and it went to the streaming service so it could turn it up to 11,
Nice.
And it does. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, because there were certain parts of that first episode I was like, whoa.
Oh, dude, no, it goes. I mean, second season there's a full-on exorcism. Ooh. And it's like, hey, like it's solid.
Your mother says socks that smell.
Right. Yep. Second on my list here is on Amazon Prime. A little bit of a mind screw. The Terminal List with Chris Pratt. This is an interesting one.
It's the movie, right?
No. It's a series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he is a special ops Marine guy.
This is the time travel one. Okay.
No, not the time travel one.
Okay, sorry. No. I'll shut up.
You're thinking of the Tomorrow War.
Mm-hmm.
This is called The Terminal List.
Oh, I was way off. Sorry, Chris Pratt. Okay.
So again, this is a series that just came out. Jamie and I I think we're 6 episodes in or whatnot, and it's a little bit of a mind screw. There's the first episode is, but then it sort of comes into its own a little bit afterwards. But
so is this the one I should watch with Ken?
Absolutely,
because I heard you say.
No, there is a lot of military Marine special ops action in this.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely.
There you go.
Definitely have Ken watch it, and like I said, this is a really good show. Where, like I said, after the first episode, I wasn't necessarily sure that I liked it, but I needed to see what was going to happen afterwards. So it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those shows. And then finished up Umbrella Academy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, wow is right. Holy shit.
Wow. Dude, this season... Joe, have you started this season yet?
I haven't watched any of the Umbrella Academy.
Oh my god.
I suck at
life.
Yeah, stop rewatching shit and start this, because good.
Hey, I'm not I'm in Boardwalk Empire to where I haven't seen it yet. So I'm not rewatching it. I'm just finishing it.
How many seasons did it take to get into that, Joe?
It's only a 5-season show. I'm on season 4.
It's only a 5-season show.
There you go.
But no, man, Umbrella Academy is so incredible. This season is so good. Just the entire cast knocks it out of the park. Man, the back and forth between the Sparrows and the Umbrellas. God, this is such a great season. So if you love the Umbrella Academy, please watch it. Joe, more homework.
I will do it.
Not for next time. Take your time. Savor it like a fine wine. This is one of the better shows on Netflix. And finally, we were going to talk about this a little more in depth, but one of us is not caught up, which is totally fine. Star Trek Strange New Worlds had its season 1 finale. We got basically their what if episode of an original series, of one of the more important original series episodes, and completely fit in with the story that they were trying to tell. They didn't do it just for sort of that wow factor, or we're going to redo a classic episode and see how it goes. We get the Paul Wesley, James T. Kirk in this episode, which was fantastic.
My daughter called that out because he's in Vampire Diaries. She's like, I knew he was in this.
Right. Yeah. And so, but one of the really good things about just this season in general is all of the genres that the episodes touch on. The episode before was a full-on aliens, like horror episode, which was just, done so well, sort of reinventing another classic.
It's more alien from Aliens. Yeah, it was great.
Right. Yeah. They even find a newt in that episode, It's just like, Joe, catch up on this when you can, because I would love just to get your take on on this and how it went. But
acting
man,
is just stellar across the board, and the writing, everything is just top notch, man. I was super impressed.
Yeah. Well, and this made me think of it too. And you mentioned the younger actor who played Han Solo is, like a lot of times when they cast different actors to play younger versions of sort of iconic actors who played, especially Nichelle Nichols, who played Uhura, Leonard Nimoy, who played Spock all throughout his career. Ethan Peck as Spock is
absolutely
so good.
That role. Like, I didn't think anybody could do it better than Quinto, but I think he does.
Yeah. Just the tone of his voice, his delivery, and I don't know, that he plays just so well into that role. It's so good. Anyway, I could go on forever about Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Anyway, we'll
save that for another cast.
Yeah, this series 1 was just an entire 10 out of 10. It was so good. Yeah, so really good. If you like Star Trek in any way, shape, or form, go for it.
Even if you just like sci-fi, you don't even have to like Star Trek. To your point, it touches all the genres, so it's just a fun ride and great TV.
Yeah. At the end of the Ready Rooms season 1 wrap up, we did get a sneak peek at the next Lower Decks, which is coming out shortly. So I can't wait for that to come back. But yeah, man, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Wow, 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 wow.
Wow, wow, wee, wow.
Wow, 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 wow. There you go. 100 words on the dot. With that, let us go into, what do we want to talk about first? We want to talk about Stranger Things, or do we want to talk about The Boys?
Oh, man, that's tough. The Boys is the best show on TV right now, so maybe we end with that.
That's probably a good call.
So I think The Boys is going to take a lot longer too.
Probably, yeah. So Stranger Things, we got Volume 2, which was essentially 2 supercharged episodes. God, the last episode was 2.5 hours.
Yeah, this is 4 hours of Stranger Things they dropped on us.
Right, yeah, which I just thought was I love the fact that they didn't constrain themselves and they told the story that they wanted to. So I was watching the sort of the Netflix after show rewind of this season of Stranger Things, and the Duffer Brothers were interviewed on there, and they said that usually when you film a series like this, you have 4 episodes written, and then you start to film, and then they're sort of writing the episodes as you're filming, and you're closing out one episode, and then suddenly you have the the script for episode 5, right?
Right.
Well, so COVID hit as they were, I think, filming episode 4, and so they got to finish all the scripts before they started filming again. And and this was one of the parts that we're obviously going to discuss here is the Eddie Munson epic guitar solo, right, on top of his trailer, and that scene wasn't originally there, believe it or not.
Really?
So they were having the discussion on how to distract the bats, and one of the writers comes up with, well, what if Eddie's a guitar player and he busts out some Metallica on top of his, and so they were able to work the guitar and his band back into the earlier episodes because they haven't filmed them yet.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah, it was just, so it seemed like one of those, sort of perfect storm things where they were able to really tell the story that they wanted to tell this season and not necessarily worry about time and the sort of those constraints. So to break it up into these in sort of these 2 volumes and to finish on this 4-hour just like completely crazy train ride of a thing, I just thought was brilliant. I thought it was so good. Let's go from there. So that was my like quick little 2-cent intro on this, but
nice. Yeah, it was
Nate.
exhausting. It was an exhausting, thrilling ride. It was more fun that I got to watch it with my 13-year-old. Hashtag questionable parenting. She mainlined this whole series in like 2 weeks, and
that's so funny, dude.
It's like she's discovering things. Like I introduced her to Twilight, and then she did mainlined all the movies, read all the books 5 times, and then I think Joe mentioned Vampire Diaries. Well, then Joe, I think you mentioned Vampire Diaries in passing, and I mentioned that to her, and one of her friends was watching it, and she mainlined that entire series super fast.
Oh wow!
So yeah,
as you do.
to be a teen with no responsibilities, right?
Right.
It's a great time to be alive. Yeah. So amazing, epic, emotional. Like there's a lot of what the fuck moments. We can talk about that more in the general like kind of breakdown. I basically just pulled some of the top moments from the whole second half for me.
Yeah.
And that was it. So we can go through that later. But yeah,
I
loved it.
Well,
you want me to just run down that stuff real quick?
Well, I mean, Joe, do you have anything to say before we?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, what do you
let's
think?
just get into it because I have a list of high points and low points, but this whole, like you said, it was a roller coaster, and I do need to watch it again because I watched it with a friend of mine. We'd had a couple drinks and we went through the whole like 4 hours and just sat there, and by the end of it, like it's like 1 a.m. and we're both like, whoa, holy shit. That was intense.
Yeah, the thing I appreciate the most about this, I mean, all the story aside and all of the great effects aside and everything else, the moment when he started playing Master of Puppets without that being spoiled at all for both of us, for Addie and I, like, I literally yelled, I was like, holy shit, it's fucking Master of Puppet! Like, and Addie's like, wait, what? And then, oh my God, it was, and now it's her hype song when she goes to play volleyball.
Nice.
So my
awesome.
I get points on my dad punch card for being a cool dad. So I'll just run down my list real quick. It's only like a dozen things. So
okay.
So Eddie peeking around the trailer with the Michael Myers mask on his face when they're doing like their covert run around the trailers. That whole series of shots was great, but just the head peeking out and you're like, oh shit. Oh wait, that was William Shatner's face, right? Wasn't that the origin of that mask?
It was, the origin of the Michael Myers mask,
Like, oh my God, that's hilarious. The piggyback from the pizza dough freezer when Eleven finally makes contact with Sam and It's like, wait, are you here? You're actually here? But yeah, I piggybacked from the pizza dough freezer. Like
Yeah, right.
the whole series of Carlisle and or Argyle, not Carlisle,
Yeah.
Argyle. Yeah, man, we got the same clothes. We work for the same place, man. Like we're at different states, but I've got this purple whatever that says that we can keep your shop open. And he makes a pie, and they empty the freezer and fill it up for her float chamber. They got the salt. It was so great,
dude. The Surfer Boy pizza like cadence of speak between the two guys.
Oh yeah,
my dude. Well,
oh,
my dude, there's nothing more than I would love to make you a righteous pie from our oven, but we closed. Yeah. My dude, I don't.
I gotta meet my bro down the street in like 10.
Right,
take me back to San Diego for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was just. Oh God, that was so good.
And if
so
somebody
great.
doesn't make a Surfer Boy pizza truck pop up like food truck, that's a it's a wasted moment.
Yeah.
So all of the stuff with the pizza dough freezer scene and all around it was great. I loved the epic kill of the douchebag Jason when the Master Gate opens finally after he's trying to kill Lucas and that kind of shit. That was very satisfying and a very cool way to die.
Yeah.
The plan that they put together, like the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and now Nancy is like the general. Like nobody strays from the plan, nobody advances the plan until we all confirm that we're ready for the next stage. Like, yeah, you fucking go, Nancy. She was like a mouse in the beginning of the series. Good job. I love that Steve Harrington gets broken up with and becomes the best club mom ever, where he just adopts all these kids and has a little brother with Dustin. Like, their relationship is awesome. Let's see. In Russia, Murray references Star Wars. He's like, I got a bad feeling about this when they're trying to run their plan to capture the all the devil dogs and stuff like that.
I absolutely need a Murray and Yuri spinoff.
Right.
Like
for
just
real.
Them playing off each other the whole time would be just like I would definitely sit through.
I want them to. They meet in his like karate class or something like that, right? Like,
yeah,
exactly. Let's see. Everything Max in this season, it's just fucking beautiful the way they did that. Her acting is just Jesus. Like everybody took a back seat. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, Sadie Sink just killed it in this season.
Yeah, everybody really kind of took a back seat to her story in this season, and it was epic. Her trauma, it was rough. And the way they ran through it and kind of like illustrated it, and man, it was really good.
Again, and I love that it built off of exactly what happened last season.
Right?
Like they didn't have to manifest anything to make her this, to give her any sort of motivation. Like it was a sort of natural progression of her character of where she would be this season. So again, I just think that's such a smart. Such a smart job in the writing room to handle it that way.
Yeah, and that's why those payoffs are so good. Like the scene where Vecna pulls her up and you get running up that hill kind of stuff. Like because they earned it, they put in the work to set the groundwork for her emotional journey and whatever, and then that makes the payoff actually mean something and have some gravitas to it. Otherwise, you just have like fan service without the actual like it's just fluff kind of thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
Super good. Let's see. The police still blame all of the gates and monsters and deaths on the Hellfire Club and D&D at the end of this series. Like, are you fucking stupid? Like, come on, guys. There's literal rifts into hell opening, and it's like, yeah, it must be that Eddie guy and their D&D club, the Hellfire thing.
Well, again, if it was named anything else, they probably would have rethought it, but the fact
Sparkle Unicorn Club wasn't responsible for Gates of Death.
Right.
His brony, what do they call it? It's
the brony
herd.
club.
His brony herd wouldn't have been tagged for that. And then obviously Eddie's guitar solo, like, god damn it, that was fucking brilliant. And the fact that Metallica loved it so much that they did a tribute playing along with it and put that on YouTube. That was really cool too.
Yeah.
I do love the meme that you shared. That's been going around for a while now.
Yeah.
Lars Ulrich sues Hawkins High student. He didn't pay Metallica, Wait, he didn't pay Metallica song rights. If he wanted to save the world with our song, we should get paid. That's the best thing I've ever seen.
Hashtag Napster.
Right, exactly. Oh my god.
Look it up, kids.
That's my short list. I wanted to keep it to like high points for me, and I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I missed there, but god damn it was so fucking good.
No, so good.
The last thing that I have to kind of wrap up my rundown here is that there's been a lot of speculation about what's going to happen next season. Addie has been like combing the internet for theories and everyone's new hypothesis for what's happening in season 5. But my personal opinion is that Vecna is just like the general of the air, like the forward army general kind of thing. And there's a way bigger bad in the Upside Down. And he's not the master of puppets. In that painting that Will, is it Will?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Will shows with the 3-headed dragon at the end is the final boss that they're going to deal with. It's not, that wasn't Vecna. It's easy to assume that was Vecna, but there's actually a bunch of things it could be. 11 asked him to draw that specific picture. They say that in the show. And so what does that mean? Does that mean there's actually this thing they're going to have to deal with? Like in D&D, there's Tiamat is a 5-headed dragon. So I don't think that's where they're going with it. Apparently there's also a crazy strong red dragon, Boris, that's in the old D&D. But my personal favorite theory is that Eddie is not dead. He is going to come back as a vampire in season 5 because in the actual original Vecna D&D adventure, Vecna gets betrayed by a vampire general that he has. And Eddie was killed by bats, has bats tattooed on his arm. Like the Duffer Brothers said in an interview, the bats can't kill people or won't kill people, so don't worry about the bats. Like that is my favorite theory so far, and Addie is freaking out about it. She's like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
did you see this?
Oh, please bring back Eddie."
Right, as a vampire too. How fucking metal would that be? Jesus Christ!
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
so my god, that just makes me think of Fright Night.
Yeah,
I think it was Ed in Fright Night.
Right? Yeah. Oh my god, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. Anyway, yeah. So that's my quick 2 cents there. So.
Okay, Joe, let's go through your spots.
So pretty much everything Nate said, but of course I'm going to add all of the like emotional stuff of like Joyce and Hopper's reunion.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So what you said about the painting, pretty sure 11 didn't see that painting. He told Mike that 11 commissioned it, but I think when in the beginning, there's a scene where she is like asking about the painting and he won't show it to her.
Right. Yeah. He never
told Mike that.
Yeah,
because
she never saw
he wanted to.
He specifically tells Mike that she asked him to draw that specific picture that way. That's the line.
I think he told Mike that, but it's BS. It was Will actually made it because he wanted to make it more about 11 and less about how I think Will and has the feels for Mike.
Yeah, how much he wants.
And then he like does the crying against the window bit.
Right.
Yeah.
He wants Mike's upside down. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I want all good things for Will. Like, can we make Will have a happy ending, please?
Yeah.
He's been through enough.
I don't think that's possible.
I love the scene between him and his brother Jonathan at the pizza place where he finally steps out of his fog and says, "Listen, I just want you to know I'm here for you. Like whatever you need, I'm here."
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so good.
Sorry, I haven't been around or stoned.
You're right.
Or stoned a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah.
The Eddie and Dustin scene where like he's like telling Dustin never change.
Yeah.
Like, oh god.
That was
so
like
Eddie for me.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Like the Eddie character is like means a lot to me because like he's the first boy I dated in high school. Half of my friend group. It's like, like Eddie was that person. So I'm just like every time I'm like, I love you, Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd you handle the
His
bats?
sacrifice, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Bald.
Wasn't that bullshit? Did everybody else think that was a bullshit sacrifice? Like, there's no reason for that. That needs to mean more. Just riding off in a direction. Like,
Well, so I have a feeling that was done for a pretty specific reason. Because they vilified him so much, and he's technically missing at the end of the series in the public's eye, right? Is that they can't, like if he was just happened to show up and say, "Hey, I helped save the town," right? He would still get vilified.
Right. No, that's not what I mean.
He's either ends up in the inside or the upside down, or he goes back to Hawkins and gets thrown in jail.
Right. Yeah, that's not what I mean, though. Like, I understand sacrifice him. It's a good arc. But the way in which he died was bullshit. Like, he needed to be, like, do the BMX jump off a ramp through a window and hit Vecna with it, or something more impactful than just being a distraction for the bats, right? Which for me, it felt like if the bats are connected to Vecna, Vecna controls the bats, wouldn't the bats have gone back to the house immediately once he started getting attacked? Like, there's a bunch of, this is me punching holes in things that don't need holes punched, but I felt like his death needed to have more meaning. You know what I mean? Like, it needed to be a bigger moment than just a tornado of bat creatures that could have killed him in a second or whatever. Like, or saving Dustin at least, or something like that directly, as opposed to indirectly.
Right. Yeah, I'm just sorry that he didn't figure out how to get the sort of Mad Max level guitar to where he was actually flaming the bats.
Right.
Oh, wait till season 5. I'm sure that happens. That'd be great.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Ooh, maybe he becomes one with the bats and controls them. Oh,
that would
There's
be
your vampire arc.
There's your vampire
arc.
We should write
then, of course, when Mike tells Eleven he loves her to give her the power of love.
Oh, what a good moment for a Huey Lewis drop right there. Damn.
Yeah. One of the other cool things about that Netflix special, which you got, I'm pretty sure you can watch it on Netflix or on YouTube, is that they talk about all these scenes, but then they show the actors the scenes. And this was recorded almost directly after everything launched. And so the actors hadn't seen the scenes yet.
Oh, shit.
So they hadn't seen it with finished effects. They hadn't seen it cut together. They hadn't seen it, sort of edited the way because...
No way.
So Finn he just said his monologue to Eleven at the pizza place, but he never saw her reacting to it in the upside down, wrapped up by Vecna's. And so and then you hear the, just the echo of his voice and 11 getting all psyched up and everything. And so having them watch that whole thing. And then they have the actors watch the guitar solo as well. Right. It's cool to see them watching it for the first time and saying, we never expected it to turn out like this.
Is that on Netflix or is that the YouTube thing that's like an hour long that I've
That's
seen?
The YouTube thing that's an hour long.
Okay, damn, I wish I'd watched that today.
Yeah. TBD. Yeah.
So and then the last thing was why do both these seasons have to end on the dad note? I was just like, oh god. So season 3, Hopper dies.
Mm-hmm.
Season 4, Hopper and 11 reunite. I fucking lost it. I thought I was good. I'm like, oh, okay, I got through Eddie. Everything's fine. Blah blah blah. And, just the minute they hugged, I was like,
yeah.
Addie grabbed my hand when that happened, and I lost it, ugly sobbing,
sobbing tears.
Oh my god, it was brutal.
God. Yeah. And because you knew it was going to happen too. It was like, okay, at some point, they're both still alive, they're going to reunite, and then just when it happens, it was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Thank the gods.
That's why I was saying, it was so emotional that such a long sitting of that show. It was great and I loved it, but man, it drained me afterwards. I was like, I'm going to bed. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mentioned that my friend and I watched it and we stopped at 1 a.m. I went home And I get like, as soon as I get home, I get a text message from her. It's like, I'm still thinking about this.
Yeah,
like, holy shit. I'm like, me too. I'm just sitting on my couch, just staring into space, like, whoa. But yeah, that was my Stranger Things experience.
Yeah. No, I just think that this was I mean, just so well done. And Stranger Things now has their Empire Strikes Back season, and it's just, oh man, it's so good. And just the setup for season 5, I can't wait. It's, who knows when we'll get it, who knows when we'll see it, but damn, I can't wait. But yeah, this season was on another level for sure.
So on that note, what song would you guys play to distract Vecna?
Careless Whisper, 100%. Come on, don't give him a guitar, give him a saxophone.
Oh Jesus!
And get
let's rickroll him. How about that? that would be pretty funny, actually. We do have picks for this. Do we want to do that at the end, or do we want to do that now?
Let's do that now, since we're talking about it. So yeah.
I mean, I think Joe's pick wins the contest, so go for it, Joe.
Yeah.
Rating Blood from a lesser rated sky.
That's so good. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I'm actually surprised they didn't pick that for the actual show.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Don't get me wrong, Master of Puppets is great.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I mean, and just
I do have a 2 extra picks.
Do it.
Pantera, Cowboys from Hell.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Or White Zombie, Thunderkiss 65.
Oh, you knew White Zombie was going to be there somewhere.
Right. Totally.
All right, Nate, what are yours?
Oh man, so I originally had picked Stricken by Disturbed because there's the lyrics are pretty right on for that, and actually the way they end their chorus is like into the hell I will run or something like that. And so it's literally like they're running into hell kind of thing. And the guitar in that, holy shit, like Dan Donegan is a fucking monster. And this is, I think that album dropped in like early 2000s, maybe 2005, something like that.
No, not 01.
It's really good. So that was my original, and I went, oh no, I'm pretty sure I'm the one that said we had to do something that was kind of topical as far as the era. So I went through and picked out a couple. I was like, okay, so The Trooper by Iron Maiden, that'd be good. Judas Priest's Sentinel would be really good.
Yeah.
And then if we want to just go back to Metallica, fucking Creeping Death, it would be amazing because the solo and just the guitar parts in that song are fucking crazy. So,
yeah.
Another one I had was Sanitarium for Metallica.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's hard not to include more Metallica there, just because it's there. Like right. Master of Puppets was the perfect song for that.
Of course.
Yeah. But I mean, Am I Evil? Like I think that would have fit nicely in there as well. And oh crap, I'm drawing a blank on the other one that I had. It'll come to me when we're halfway talking about the boys.
Wait, these are your picks, Andy, and you're not.
What?
Your picks?
Yeah, Careless Whisper and Am I Evil?
Oh, God. Okay. There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, what
Andy's
are your
highlights?
What are your high points, Andy? Did you have a list?
No, I just wanted to sort of to input on you guys here. I think I mean, yeah, I don't have anything else to really add. Again, just doubling down on the work that Sadie Sink did, the girl who played Max, I just thought was really great. I did love. I know that this happened in the first half of the season, but the one reveal as Vecna and what's his name, Jamie Campbell Dornan. or is that his name or something like that?
Sure.
Yeah, Jimmy Campbell, something.
Yeah, I mean, God, it's terrifying. I mean, just him in the makeup and everything, and I was edge of my seat pretty much the entire 2.5 hours at the end. I just like I was into it, and it's hard for me to get so sort of invested in a storyline in a show, but I was in it. I was there, and I just thought I just thought it was very well done. So
Oh, and
that's
so Jamie Campbell Bower.
Jamie Campbell Bowers. That's it. Yeah.
Dude, hats off to that guy, because I didn't realize he played as the one. He was the guy in the Vecna suit and did the voice of Vecna.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, hats off to you, sir.
Yeah. 7-hour process to get in the Vecna outfit, apparently.
Jesus, really? Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
7 hours?
Yeah. Like that's a day. Like that's a full day, you know,
doesn't
and
go
then you got to
home.
go.
And then do a full day on top of that.
Well,
Right.
Yeah. You don't go home at that point. You just stay in it for a week. Like,
Yeah. So,
Ooh, what's that
yeah,
smell
just
like?
yeah.
Exactly what it looks like.
Tentacles
Oh, man.
rolling.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Also, and whoever did the subtitles for this was unhinged.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
Because they're just,
one. Yeah.
oh man.
Yeah.
Eldritch scritching, I think, was one of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. So, let us know what you guys thought of Stranger Things here. I think this is a good point to move on to our boys discussion, our boys season 3 discussion. We're going to take a quick pause, and yeah.
We'll be back in 2 and 2.
All right, so here we go with our boys season 3 discussion. We did talk a little bit about, I think we did episodes 1 through 3, but then we sort of quickly mentioned the episodes that we caught up on 2 weeks ago. So anyway, here we go with our the rest of 2/3 of the boys season 3 discussion. Nate, what do you got?
Sure. So I've got a pretty decent breakdown of episodes 4 and 5, so I'll just go with that. Episode 4, also known as the Winter Soldier episode, where the boys accidentally, well, not really accidentally, on purpose, looking for a weapon, find Soldier Boy, which is the worst version of Captain America you could possibly imagine.
Right.
And during the storming of this Russian facility, they find a superpowered hamster who just wrecks shop, as you would expect a hamster to wreck shop in a show like The Boys. So Jamie the hamster is an MVP. They also introduced the VNN VOT News Network, which is a Fox News analog, complete with the sniveling host. Side note, I love how all the right-wingers were getting pissed that Homelander turned out to be this unhinged, narcissistic world ender, even though everyone else saw that coming.
How was that not? How did they not get that from day one?
Because they're stupid, Joe. It's like, if you can believe in the cult, then you can believe that.
Right.
So these opinions are only of Nate. So anyway, so I love it, and it's great. The intro, the thing called the Temp V, 24-hour V24, something like that, right?
Right.
With the guy who runs VOT, talking with the congressman, soon to be president, I guess presidential nominee.
Bobby Singer.
Yeah, Bobby Singer, thank you. And how many millions of dollars he's going to charge for each dose. And, he's basically selling the razor blades en masse for millions and millions of dollars. But that obviously comes into play later. Maeve is secretly off the sauce and training to kill Homelander, which is a cool little conversation we get between her and Starlight. There is probably the single craziest fight scene in the history of cinema in this episode, where we have a dildo war with dildos that are all flavored as different members of the Seven, and the assassin lady, I can't remember her name.
Kimiko.
Kimiko, yeah, thank you.
And one of the best uses of Belle DeVoe's poison.
Exactly. So yeah, it's not just the weaponry, it's not just the location and the visuals, it's also the music. It really tied the room together. And
right,
the dildo fight. What did we say we were gonna? It was gonna be a girth index or something. We'll go.
We didn't say this, Nate. You said this.
I did, and I saw myself out, but I still have to bring that up. It was fucking hilarious.
Right.
Anyway, so great fight. John Wick, eat your heart out. So for some reason, Starlight decides to confide in A-Train. Or no.
Oh.
Is it A-Train that she confides in A-Train, or is it no, it's not Supersonic.
No, it's Supersonic.
Confides in A-Train, and A-Train narcs on him. And at the end of the episode, we see what the insides of Supersonic looks like, minus the dick explosion. There's a whole arc where Victoria Newman turns on Stan Edgar, and this is crazy because it's during that episode you find out that he's kind of her adopted father in the previous episodes, and then she turns on him basically so she could get V for her daughter, and because she's afraid of Homelander. That's how crazy powerful Homelander is. And then you get a whole that whole fight scene. God, I'm really jumping around with these notes here. That whole fight scene, you get Huey and Butcher on Temp V at the same time. So Butcher first with his reveal with the eyes and everything, and Mother's Milk, and everybody are like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then it looks like some Mother's Milk's about to get KO'd, and then all of a sudden Huey teleports out of his clothing and poofs him out of there. So he ended up stealing.
I love that reveal. I thought that reveal was great.
Yeah,
he ends up stealing the dose of V from Butcher, and that was a great reveal too. And he's a great actor in general, and goddamn, he looks more like his dad every episode. Like the older he gets, the more he looks like Dennis Quaid. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what I've got for Ep 4. Quick and dirty, little high points. I don't know if you guys want to chime in, or what do we want to do with this?
Joe, what do you got?
So I just broke it down. I didn't break it down by episode, so I'm not sure how far I go on this, but Jensen's solid gold dancing video, Soldier Boy.
Yes.
Yes. Well, Jensen, that makes sense. Yeah.
There is a full length cut of that. I will link it for you guys to put in the show notes. And
that'd be great.
Perfect.
That's amazing.
And so Soldier Boy, I've been waiting for Soldier Boy for a very long time, and did not disappoint, especially coming out of the chamber naked.
Nice.
We get Jensen Ackles' ass, which is awesome.
You didn't get to see his ackles, though.
Some things should be left to the imagination.
Probably has demon horns and shit on it.
except for his love for the older ladies, apparently.
Yeah. You got any more lube?
Yeah.
So I think this was in this episode, but Huey and Starlight, when he reveals to her that he took the V, and he was like, "You're really gonna need a White Claw."
Yeah. Yes.
That was good.
And I think that might be it for that episode. So, Andy?
Okay. No, I didn't. I was gonna go off of your guys here. So, nice. Nate, why don't you move on to your 5 breakdown?
Yeah, Ep 5. Paul Reiser as the legend.
Oh,
yes,
dude, so good. Yeah, Paul Reiser showing up in both shows that we're talking about.
Yeah. Really great throughput there, and he's like, I didn't know where I ended, and who was he talking about? Pryor and Godfather. What's his name? The Godfather. My brain doesn't work. It's not your excuse. Who's the actor? Oh my god, you guys are killing me. Marlon Brando, for the love of God. It's like I couldn't tell where
Just hanging you out
Brando,
to dry. Just love hanging you out to dry, Nate.
where Brando ended and I began, or some shit. Like the
Yeah.
lines
God.
coming off of this guy. You know that bed has seen two faucets, like Farrah and her
Oh,
blah blah blah. Like,
God.
oh my God. So he's basically an information broker now, but he used to be a handler of the soups back in the 70s. And so they're trying to get information on Soldier Boy and his powers and what happened and the rest of the crew. Kamiko gets blasted at one point, and you find out that he basically burns the V out of her blood because of the radiation blast or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's not that he just interrupted her powers; he basically completely negged them. At this point, Huey is fully addicted to the Temp V, so he's puking green, and the lines coming out of Butcher's mouth in this episode are fucking golden. It's like, it might look like Kermit the Frog got to go at your mouth.
Right. Yeah.
Because he's puking green stuff. Oh my God, I was dying halfway through this.
Yeah. So good.
Butcher falls off the wagon. Maeve falls off the wagon. They have super sex where he's still juiced on V, and she comes over and they start talking and drinking, and then you're like, wow, where did that come from? But
Yeah.
Hot.
go.
So hot.
Yeah.
You go, Butch. It's a good thing you were on V, otherwise she would have fucking crushed you. Let's see. So A-Train in his Back to Africa fucking uniform, it's so bad, and his brother tells him, is like, really? What's going on, man? It's like he's trying to revitalize his image now that he can't run because his heart's going to explode if he does again, right? And so his bright idea, even the marketing team that he pays or that's on Vought's payroll don't want to deal with it. It's such bullshit. And his brother tells him as much. Yeah, his brother tells him as much, and he tells him about Blue Hawk and how he's coming down real hard on people in the neighborhood and that kind of thing. So he gets the bright idea to have a sit down at the community center with all the people that Blue Hawk's been terrorizing, so that Blue Hawk can apologize, and it just turns into an absolute shit show.
Yeah,
exactly how you would expect this asshole, police brutality analog to behave. And Blue Hawk just goes off and starts killing people, basically, and it ends up paralyzing A-Train's brother, which is fucking brutal. I mean, you saw it kind of coming, but
that was rough.
It happened that way.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. And then you have the whole Soldier Boy return to New York City scene directly ripped off from the MCU and Captain America, where he's in Times Square. He's like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Man in a time shit. And then there's like a Russian delivery truck playing the music, Russian music, and he has full like PTSD blackout and does his chest beam and basically cuts a building in half and kills 19 people or something like that with it.
Yeah.
So that's like, oh great, what's worse than a soup that's completely unhinged? Soup with PTSD that blacks out and is completely unhinged and has like a giant sharks with lasers situation happening. So we also learned that Mother's Milk, his daughter Ashley, her stepdad is a full QAnon Homelander flat earth sheeple person. Oh, he's just trying to help people. Like, how the fuck are you stupid? And then not in this episode. I think it's in episode 7 or 8. Towards the end, he gets fucking decked finally. It's like, oh my God, it's so satisfying when that happens. But he's basically trying to calm down and snaps at him, and they're like, "Oh, you're being getting angry again or whatever." There's a whole scene with Maeve and Homelander where he's talking about, "Man, I wish things really worked out with us. I always envisioned us having a family, and I loved you or whatever." And Maeve's like, "You disgusted me. I never liked you. You're a small man." Like, just completely eviscerates him, and then you see something like crack behind his eyeball, and he's basically like, oh. And I think this is the point where he kind of gets a little unhinged and is just kind of off script now at that point.
With the acting.
Yeah. And I love how they intercut this scene with Crimson Countess basically telling Soldier Boy the same thing that Maeve is telling Homelander.
Right.
So, yeah, history sort of repeating itself but then and by far the creepiest Seth Rogen cameo that we've ever gotten.
God, it was like Jizzmaster 79 or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Man.
Oh my God. I was listening to that superhero thing, the guys that I was talking to you about before, their podcast, and they're like, well, I bet he's never going to make it in a Marvel movie now. He shot his Marvel load all over the place.
Right. Yeah.
Oh God, so funny. Yeah, and that's really the highlights that I've got for the end of episode 5, because episode 6 is that Herogasm stuff. So.
Oh yeah. So Joe, I comments on that episode.
The Imagine video that was the ripoff of the Gal Gadot one.
Oh my God.
Oh man,
that was so great.
So great.
I loved it.
The scene with Soldier Boy at the hotel, just like benzos and whiskey, being the like contrarian grandpa.
Yeah,
he did that so well. And yeah, I think that might be the end for me.
Okay.
Was so when Homelander talks in the mirror, is that this episode or the next one?
Ooh, I think that's the next one, but I'm not 100%.
Might be the next one.
Okay.
It's towards the end, right? Yeah, it is. It's at the end of episode 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And episode 6 is Herogasm?
Yep.
Oh, geez. All right. What's
the return
not
of
to say
love sausage
about this?
Tits and ass and dicks and vag and everything. It's the full Monty times 1,000 with superheroes.
Mother's Milk got the fucking shaft in this episode. That poor man.
He got the milk in this episode, I think.
He got the mother's milk.
Exactly. The father's milk in this episode.
Yeah.
Mazel tov.
That was so hard to watch.
I mean, just jacket, man.
Yeah, and then, oh my goodness.
Yeah, the love sausage when it peeks up over the shoulder. I was like,
God, right? Oh my God.
What is that? Oh, that's what that is. Oh God.
I really wanted there to be an Audrey 2 moment that was like, feed me, punk.
Right.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And it's a sentient love sausage at that point.
Right.
Yeah, and the deep is way too close with sea life.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen the inside of an octopus? It's like beak and cartilage, beak-shaped cartilage. That's all it is. It's like, all right, man. Good luck with that.
If you could communicate with them, you could get them to play nice, I guess.
Yeah. I didn't really dive down that deep, Nate, to see what was inside of an octopus, but thank you for doing that.
I used to be a scuba diver, man. So, yeah, I had my research. You know, it's there was a tragic accident when I was a teenager. No. It was a moray eel, not an octopus. Ah, damn it. I said too much.
Yeah,
but yeah, and then first, and then Huey and Butcher showing up to Herogasm. And then I love that it's like the C-list superheroes that go to this thing.
Great. Yeah.
I know. It's just,
well, because in the comics, it's like a whole Vought thing, and it's like the A-listers go to it.
Oh, really? Did you read the comics?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yep.
I read them. I heard it was way more brutal than the show, obviously.
Yeah, so as far as the comics go, yeah, Herogasm, it's like put on by Vought, and it's like all the superheroes just go to the meadows to go fuck each other.
Nice. Roger.
Little pentaverate there.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we get the throwdown between Homelander shows up, and then we finally get the throwdown between Soldier Boy, Homelander, and Huey and um, Butcher, and first, what happens? I forget. Oh, so Soldier Boy nukes his the TNT twins, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, he nukes the
And
entire place, but that's after.
yeah, and half and love sausage, crispy love
Yeah.
sausage. Now,
Well, that happens after the three-way fight, though, because they're
but
fighting
I thought,
in the house when it's still standing.
well, but no, and I thought that he couldn't nuke him because he had already, quote unquote, spent his
Oh
load
yeah. Jesus, quote unquote.
halving out the.
Don't insert quotes like that wasn't your quote.
Right.
You don't have to quote it yourself. Shit. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So no, and that's what I got. But yeah, no, because it happens, in the ruins of the
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
half ruins of the house. And Soldier Boy essentially couldn't finish, and so Homelander gets away.
Yeah, that was an insane fight. What a great job of that. Like, especially when Butcher makes his debut for Homelander. Homelander's like, what the fuck? Like,
Right.
oh, so
yeah.
good.
Well, and then we get the I love the interaction between Soldier Boy and Homelander here, is that I'm the, basically I'm the OG as well. I'm the upgrade, you
Right.
know.
No,
And
you're
yeah, and then it's not this episode, it's the next episode where Soldier Boy sort of puts two and two together of how Homelander came about. And I don't know if it was inferred or if anything from this, but if if anyone, and this is sort of the old Superman Lois Lane thing, is that who's going to carry that seed, right? Was it test tube, or was it was test tubes?
They've talked about that already. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
That's why
right.
Homelander has such
it wasn't
a drive.
Lois's super uterus.
Yeah, that's why Homelander has such a drive for family, is because he's
Right.
never had any, because he knows that he was a test tube baby.
Well, and I forgot that part of it, because I was half hoping that it would have been Liberty's womb that they needed to put her in, and that would have just been that.
Yeah. Funny you mention that, because Soldier Boy mentions that he used to fuck Liberty back in the day.
Right. Yeah.
Not knowing that it was Stormfront.
Right. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I've got a couple highlights from this if you want me to.
Okay. Yeah. Keep going. Yeah.
So, we talked about the beginning with the ridiculous Imagine song, right? And then right after that happened, you get the Deep in his security room, because he's fired all of the security operatives. And so it's just him and like Ashley and a Homelander, like looking at CCTV footage, and they notice that Soldier Boy is actually back. And then that's when Homelander decides to kill Soldier Boy and like to bury everything. And then there's like a whole thing with Black Noir where as soon as he realizes what's happened, he's like, holy fuck. And he bugs out, like he cuts out the tracking chip.
He books it.
And goes to like the saddest old burned out Chuck E. Cheese, where we find out he has full on Roger Rabbit cartoon friends.
Oh my goodness.
They are
that
fucking
entire
crazy.
Sequence.
So creepy. Oh, fuck.
So awesome, though.
But then you get the animated versions of all of the characters getting voiced by their
their original people.
Oh my goodness. I just
super creepy.
At first you're just like, I can't believe they're doing this, right? But then it speaks so much as to who Black Noir is, right? Yeah. And then they take it, as The Boys does, to an entirely like other level of like, oh man, like this is his day to day, like this is what he sees,
right?
And to fast forward a little bit, the conclusion of his character in this season, that
brutal death,
that part. But again, seeing the animated guys fade out in his visor, like, holy crap.
And apparently in the comics he's a clone of Homelander, right?
Right. Yeah. No, they reimagined his character here.
Right. That would have been interesting
Something
to
else.
see if that was a reveal, though. That would have been a little nutso.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of other kind of intermediate story stuff happening after that, because then you've got Butcher and Huey talking with Soldier Boy. This is pre-hero gasm, giving him alcohol and pills to keep him kind of subtle. And Soldier Boy agrees to take out Homelander, but only if they will help him track down the rest of his team. And you don't really know why at that point. I mean, you kind of do, but it turns out that they did actually kind of totally turn on him. And you find out a little more about that later, where Vought basically orders them to take him out, or to hand him over to the Russians because he's just becoming too much of a Homelander, too out of control, too uncontrollable kind of thing. Yeah. There's a moment at Vought HQ there where A-Train talks to Ashley to try and get justice for Blue Hawk's actions, and Ashley points out that he's a complete hypocrite and curses him out, and he leaves.
Rips
Kimiko, yeah, rips at her hair and then orgasms when she does.
Right. Yeah.
So crazy. Kimiko gets attacked in the hospital and tied up in an abandoned warehouse where Nina makes Frenchie choose who should die. He's bike locked to a steel pole or something. That's brutal.
Dude, Frenchie's acting in this was stellar.
Right?
Yeah.
I felt for him so bad.
Yeah, big time. And then go ahead.
And then I love Kimiko just not like not giving a crap, realizing who she is, and just going to town, even though she doesn't have her powers anymore.
Right. And
so here's the thing that I watching this, I'm like, okay, so she doesn't have her powers at this point.
Right. Yeah.
She takes a couple of hits where I'm like, she shouldn't be getting up from that.
Yeah. 100% agree. I think the fact that she's a trained killer and that's not her powers. Her powers are the strength and the healing factor, right? So
yeah,
thankfully she's a trained killer and she probably knows how to, harness her chi or whatever and help shrug some of that off, because there's no way she's getting up from the boot.
Yeah, I swore she was dead in that fight scene. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch Kimiko die.
Yeah, 100%. Then you're right, Frenchie. It's so good. Then there's a scene that's also super important where the Congressman Victoria Newman talks to Starlight and tries to make like the deal with her so she can use her social platform to push her political agenda. And I think that's probably where Starlight gets the idea of using her platform to fuck over Vought, because she's like, I have 18 million followers or whatever. And she completely blows her off. She's like, she refuses to work for another nut job. And there's a little bit of tension there, especially when she leaves and Starlight has a little bit of a nosebleed after the head popper used from that meeting. So then here everyone converges at Herogasm, which is a crazy orgy featuring plenty of sealess soups, something that's a yearly tradition for those people. So yeah, you get all of the fun intros and the fight, and then you've got the TNT twins who are blaming Black Noir for the double cross.
Right.
There's a whole scene. So then, you've got Soldier Boy destroys the house, blood and guts everywhere. A-Train decides for some retribution and takes Blue Hawk and uses his super speed and basically drags Blue Hawk behind the pickup truck, so to speak, and just kills him on the spot, basically. But A-Train has a heart attack at the end of that and collapses onto the road. Later to be revived with Blue Hawk's heart, which is so scary, crazy, but gives him his life back, kind of thing.
Yeah.
At least he was good for something. That piece of shit.
Right.
So then you have your Homelander intro. He touches down and actually crushes Termite with a step. Like, no, the Dick Punisher dies so quickly. And that's when he does the square off with Soldier Boy, and they start fighting one another. And then Starlight convinces Mother's Milk not to get involved because he's going to get killed, and they need to help the other people. Then you get your Huey and Butcher jump in, and so it's actually 3-on-1, and it looks like Soldier Boy is about to use his powers again, but Homelander manages to get away, which is crazy if you think about how much power he has.
Yeah.
So he retreats back to Vought, and that's when you have the moment in the mirror where he does the whole Green Goblin,
Golem thing.
Yeah, exactly. talking to himself, and that's kind of intercut with Starlight, Annie, I guess, because she's not in her costume, in front of the dead bodies outside of Herogasm, doing a live stream and blowing everything apart, basically. And she quits at that point, and there's your credits. It's holy shit, that was an intense fucking episode.
Yeah.
And the deep fucking the goddamn octopus.
Oh man.
Our love life's getting a little stale, babe.
Oh god.
We could bring in a third.
She thinks you're hot.
Goodness. Yeah.
And then it touches her on the leg, and she's like, "Nope,
nope,
I'm out.
not doing it." Yeah.
Oh shit. Sorry, this is going to take forever if we go at this rate. I'm reading off this list of really good high points. So,
well, then there's also Frenchie and Kamiko in the hospital was like a really great scene. Mm-hmm. The La La Land episode,
right. Yeah, I really enjoyed the stuff between Frenchie and Kimiko. Like it really, I mean, there was a lot showcasing their relationship and just how close that they've become, and it never really soured for me. Like I never thought it was like too much or anything. I just thought it was like it really sort of solidified them as a unit and them having each other's backs. And I thought that was a really good footnote to the season of just their relationship. And I mean, in everybody's relationships too, you know, I mean, Huey and Starlight going through all the shit that they went through this season in terms of, you know, Huey realizing that he wanted to be there for Starlight, but then realizing his sort of place in the relationship too, you know, and I think that was sort of the real like underlying footnote of the season, is that everybody sort of settling into their relationships except for Butcher. I think Butcher's relationship was with Temp V. But you know, Mother's Milk and his daughter, you know, trying to sort of regulate that. Homelander and his son, oh man, like that whole part of it there of just those two, again, sort of like, I mean, just the worst father figure ever. And then, but again, this poor kid not having the best sort of lineup of father figures here, you know?
Well, yeah, and Butcher pushed him away to keep him away from Homelander, and it totally backfires.
Pushed it right into his arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And what else?
Are we talking about the finale, or what are we talking about?
Well, I mean, I was just
kind of wrap it up,
picking up points of the season that really sort of spoke and stood out to me.
Yeah, so the whole Mindstorm hunt and Butcher's backstory, that part.
Yeah. Oh intense. Man,
that was really intense.
So intense. So his younger brother, killed himself. Butcher went off to the military to get out of the abusive household, and then his little brother ends up killing himself. And so he sees his little brother in Huey, and at that point decides that he's gonna, knock Huey out and prevent him from killing himself on the Temp V, which Annie finds out that there's like a 3 to 5 dose range and it'll kill you. He tells Butcher. He doesn't tell Huey. He just ends up knocking him out and locking him in the closet. But the other one that really got me was the whole visit between Homelander and Maeve, where she's under Vought Tower and he's just keeping her alive to harvest her eggs and create super children. That's fucking psychotic. She's over the moon that he comes in wearing makeup. She's like, "Do you have a bruise?" And she's so happy with herself. And then he drops that.
I saw you scared.
Yeah, and then he just drops that gem that, he's not keeping her alive. He's keeping her eggs alive. Exactly. Yeah. He doesn't even need the uterus. He just needs her eggs because he's going to harvest them and do the whole test tube thing again. What else? I mean, Homelander's spiral is pretty intense towards the last couple episodes, culminating in that final scene, obviously, with the QAnon stepdad cheering the laser blast from the to the protester with Homelander and his son, and everyone starts cheering, and then the son's got his little crooked smile thing happening at the very end, which is just
I mean,
you missed the big one, though.
That's Brightburn 2 at the end. Well, I haven't missed anything. I jumped to the end. What did I miss?
You jumped.
Well, but first quick footnote. Yeah, Joe, hang on to that. The first quick footnote there is that I really love how the story is paralleling just sort of what's happening in the world today in terms of just sort of everybody picking their sides and and just keeping it very sort of like black and white. There's very little gray here, you know? And I don't know. I thought that part of it, like the Homelander homies, I guess that we'll call them, right? The people like the Homelander followers is just that, oh man, like watching that is and seeing them eat it up is just so painful. So
yeah, it's scary as an analog too. And what's the thing that gets lost is that it's not that just people are picking sides. You have a side that's backing a fascist superhero, and you have a side of the person who's trying to reveal shit. But because the media is so spun up and corporate controlled, each other believes their side so wholly and completely that it's not as simple as they make it out to be, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Joe, where were you going to go?
Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to go to the big reveal of I beat my meat in a cup.
Right. At the end of season 7, there's that reveal. Like, there was a child in 81 or whatever. He's talking to him on the phone. I beat my meat into a cup. So side note with Jensen Ackles. So I told you about my friend Sarah before, Jobin. She's the other like crazy fangirl of the whole Supernatural series and has watched it several times, like the whole thing.
Yep.
Except that she is also the very reserved, proper, I don't want to call it reserved and proper. That doesn't seem nice. She wouldn't watch The Boys because it's too much for her.
Sure.
And I told her, I didn't tell her exactly what happened, but I told her a few things as far as Soldier Boy goes, just kind of general thing. She's like, oh, wow. Well, I'm glad I didn't watch it then because I don't want to ruin, like, now I really want her to have to watch it. I want that solid gold video thing that you were talking about.
Oh, dude, I will send that to you because that's perfectly harmless and that's very Dean Winchester-esque.
And I know you listen to the podcast,
I guarantee
Sarah.
Dean Winchester has sang that song in a shitty hotel at some point.
Yeah. And I know you listen to the pod, Sarah. We love you. I really want you to watch the show, but it's a lot. So it's only for ruined people like us. All right, continue.
Right. Yeah. No. Well, so it's funny on that note. Christian from the Random Christian Show called me up and said, "Hey, some guys were talking about work about the show, The Boys. I know you watch it. It's like they're talking about this guy called Termite and what he did in the first episode." I'm like,
yeah.
And he's like, did they actually show that on television? I'm like, yeah.
They literally built a physical set of the inside of the guy's urethra.
Yeah. And
there's Instagram pictures to prove it.
Oh, God.
It was so funny. Like, he just couldn't. He's like, no. Yep. It was like, I mean, like, yeah, that actually happened.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Kimiko gets Compound V also. Again in episode 7, and
that's right. Powers back up.
Get her powers back because she wants to protect her family, which is Frenchie and herself now.
Yeah.
So,
although Mrs. Frenchie in that last episode are gets a little too into it, to where Frenchie gets his ankle taken out by that shot. Remember?
Yeah.
But
no bueno.
Anyway.
We skipped over Soldier Boy killing a nun and a priest. There's a bunch of stuff happening in this episode. Let's just move on to the finale because that deserves all the attention. It was so good. The Instant White Hot Wild. What a great name for an episode.
Oh gosh.
You guys want me to run through some high points on this one or what?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so the finale starts off with Homelander heading off to visit Ryan and Auntie Grace. Ryan is everyone's scared except for Homelander, and it basically culminates with Homelander threatening Grace to drop her phone because I can hear your fat fingers scrabbling on it. And Ryan basically says, "Aren't you mad at me for what I did?" And Homelander actually has a really kind of sweet moment with this kid, like, even though it's very twisted and the wrong way to do it. Like, sometimes things go wrong and sometimes things break, and when you're like us, sometimes that hurts the people that you're near or close to or whatever. And so he said he's always going to be there for him, and that's the moment where Ryan's like, "Oh, Dad," and like, "Oh God, this is a horror movie. This is now a horror movie. It's no longer a superhero movie.
Wrong dad.
Wrong dad.
Yeah, this is the beginning of Brightburn 2. This is not good.
Yeah.
So they take off. Meanwhile, Butcher and Huey decide to swing by VOD HQ to pick up some more of their smack. And Soldier Boy is with them. He's really concerned that he could lose control or switch sides, so he knocks out Huey and drives off with Soldier Boy to protect Huey. And this is all, so in the previous episode is when Annie calls and tells him about the terminal dosage for the Compound V. So that's one of the reasons why he knocks him out. Let's see. Frenchie visits Mother's Milk with a bottle of Starlight's perfume, but it has the most deadly nerve agent on the planet.
Yeah.
That they're going to use against Soldier Boy. And it's
and
the
is
only...
he hopped up on ketamine?
Oh, he's coked out of his mind, apparently. Yeah. And let's see. Back at VOD HQ, Homelander returns to find everything crazy. They decided to move Maeve, and she escapes. And there's let's see. There's protesters rallying outside because Starlight caught Homelander on video, basically threatening her. And then Homelander kills Black Noir because he learns that Noir knew that Soldier Boy was his father the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's not even a quick death. It's basically, I'm going to hit you in the guts and let you bleed out, like stomach wound style, which apparently is the most painful way to go. What else? A-Train talks to his brother, admits that he killed Blue Hawk, and he did it for him, and he basically his brother Nathan
disowns him.
Nate disowns him. Yeah, tells him to get out. That he can't be in the house with a murderer. What else? And then I think it's all about kind of getting up to the finale where, let's see, group eventually catches up with Butcher and Soldier Boy. Blah 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 blah. There's a moment where doesn't Butcher lock Starlight in a closet with everybody else and like turns the lights out so she doesn't have any power? That's before the finale. Maybe that was in the previous episode.
No. So that was in the that was in the hotel room where the perfume bottle gets thrown out. Right.
Where Maeve grabs it and throws it out the window.
Yeah. So they get locked in the room so they can go after. So Soldier Boy and Butcher can go after Homelander, and the rest of the team is sort of stuck back there.
Right, exactly. There you go. So that makes sense. Yeah, and then there's just this crazy build-up to this final battle where, let's see. Yeah, so the group eventually catches up with Butcher and Soldier Boy. Things soon go to hell when Maeve turns on them and teams up with the pair, deciding they need to stop Homelander no matter what. The trio find Homelander alone in Newman's office, and that's where Homelander tries to convince Soldier Boy by bringing out Ryan kind of as a hostage / grandson.
Yeah.
And the speech that Jensen Ackles delivers is fucking great. It's like, I wish I would have been here. I wish I would have been here to be your dad, so he wouldn't be such a pussy. And a disappointment. It's so fucking great.
Oh,
he's like, you see this hopeful like Homelander. Look, we could be a family. Here's your grandson. Blah 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 blah. And then just nope.
Like just the ultimate proud like I mean, you think it's gonna go one way and goes completely the opposite way, and you nailed it, Nate. He delivered it like with such perfect tone that like he's like there's no ounce of good in this character whatsoever.
I wish he had a cigar in his mouth. Like that was the way he delivered it, like a drill sergeant coming home. Like,
right?
You
Yeah,
are such a pussy.
yeah. But no, yeah, this
well,
is
to make it worse, even before, like when he was talking to Huey, he was like, I wanted kids. I wanted Rugrats with Countess,
Yeah.
And then it's like you're presented with your Rugrats, and he's like, your disappointment.
Well, there was a minute there where I thought he might go the other way, until the actual script revealed itself.
Right. Like, yeah. No, and that's what I thought too. But no, he just delivered it. It's so good and so well, and with his tone that he was going to, not be the supportive, caring father type, but be the perfect asshole father.
Well, right, and then they start duking it out, and Ryan eye blasts Soldier Boy, and then Soldier Boy fucking smacks Ryan into the wall. And it's like he's going after the kid now. Like he's about to power up and blast him.
And this gets our Butcher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and this gets our Butcher Homelander team up.
Yeah. Super crazy. Didn't really expect that at all.
No, neither did I.
Maeve is laser focused on Homelander. And now it's like a three-way battle, but everyone's fighting everyone.
Yeah.
But Butcher loves Ryan.
Yeah.
In his heart, he does. Because he'll team up with Homelander to save Ren.
Yeah, he spends the whole battle like trying to save the kid, basically.
Right. Yeah. And then I forget how they finally get the upper hand on him and get him out. I know that Maeve
jumps and pushes Soldier Boy out the window.
Okay. So after this whole thing where Ryan gets knocked out and then they team up against Soldier Boy, they cut to Frenchie, coked out Eurotrash, making nerve agent in the lab with Kimiko killing all the guards, basically. And that's when he gets his leg shot out.
Yeah.
But he does end up making, the inhaler, basically, the face mask.
Oh, that's
inhaler.
right.
And then smash cut to them somehow being on the right floor at the right time where it's on the ground. But Huey is in a control room and considering taking that last dose of V that he swiped off the floor in the previous episode. But instead, he cranks up all the electricity, all the lights in the room to
juices the lights. That's right.
Yeah, to supercharge Annie, who starts flying, basically. Levitates off the ground because she's so powered up. I really wish that something else had happened when she, basically just blasted him away. Come on. That she does that normally. I want to see the supernova version. But it was still pretty cool. So, let's see. So, at that point, Maeve and Homelander are still fighting each other. Yeah, so Maeve is actually kicking Homelander's ass for a minute. She's going apeshit on the guy, gets blood to come out of him, and then he's like, all right, we're kind of over this, and starts beating the fuck out of her, focuses all of his strength on her eyeball.
Right.
And oh God. And the sounds, oh my God.
Yeah.
I had the surround sound crank for this, and the audio, the Foley work had to have been like ground beef and eggs or something. It was
right.
Oh God.
It was so bad.
I'm really glad they didn't have the Stranger Things subtitle people for that.
You know what? I want to turn the subtitles on now and see how they describe it, because immediately after that, she somehow grabs a pencil or something and stabs him in the ear.
That's
and
right.
The audio cuts out. It's all echoey, a grenade went off, which is amazing. And that's kind of the same time when Soldier Boy is trying to recover from Starlight's blast, where they hit him with the nerve agent and get him to breathe that in, and then he looks like he's going to go complete Nova.
Yeah, as he's powering up, they're trying to gas him. Oh,
right,
man.
and then oh shit. and runs him out the window. And then there's a huge explosion. Kind of like reminded me a lot of what was it, Civil War, where Scarlet Witch tried to contain the explosion and threw it up in the air, and it ended up taking off half the building.
Yeah,
it reminded me a lot of that. Like, we're gonna need a ambulance and medevac. Yeah, super great.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think, let's see, where do we go from there? Maeve tackles him out the window. They blow up. Unfortunately, this means their plan to stop Homelander has gone south. Ryan, oh, that's right. So Ryan basically stops Homelander from killing everybody at that point.
Right.
Because he says he wants to leave. Like, I want to go. I want to leave. And it's really the only thing that keeps everybody alive and keeps the show alive at that point. So, and then they take off. So then you got a smash cut to Butcher's use of Temp V has completely eroded his lifespan, and he's talking to his doctor. And he's asking his doctor how long he has left. And he says, less than a year, or like 10 months, 11 months. And he's like, oh, well, you can kindly fuck off then.
Right.
Lights a cigarette in the hospital. And we learn that Maeve is actually still alive, even though the news is reporting that she's dead. She's in hiding, powerless, and decides to hightail it out of town with her girl, Elena. And Ashley and the other Ashley see the footage of them rescuing Maeve from the alleyway, and then promptly delete the footage to protect Maeve. So
great.
So now they have this secret. So we'll see how that happens. What happens?
Let Maeve retire in the ranch with her girl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then they lock up the Winter Soldier again, Soldier Boy, and put him under sedation, lock him back up. Now Auntie Grace is watching over him. So instead of the Ruskies, so hopefully that'll last, but we'll see. Annie's officially invited to the boys, and she throws out her costume down the trash chute. Mother's Milk gives her shit for not bagging it, because apparently, in your historic New York building, you have to make sure to double bag your trash, double knot,
right,
all that. And now there's a huge fucking issue because the head popping senator is now the new potential vice president.
Because we had because we had the Deep run the errand earlier of killing the VP candidate.
Deep killed the VP candidate, and now
thanks to Homelander.
Right, and now she'll be president because she'll be the VP first, and then off the president, and assume it. So,
I did love Deep's ice cream moment watching his ex-wife reveal her book on the talk show.
Right, in too deep.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like him if you knew him. And then you get this final scene that I alluded to earlier where Homelander introduces Ryan in front of his cultist supporters.
Oh, man.
And there's one protester. So they all have the, Trump 2020 or whatever analog shirts on, the Homelander analog shirt.
Yeah.
Blue and red shirt. And so he flies down and says hi to everybody. And then, hey, you want to meet I got to meet somebody for you to meet. And introduces his son, who also flies down. And they all go crazy. Like, oh, my God. And then you hear fucking fascist. And there's a guy in a yellow, believe Starlight shirt by the news van. Who throws like a can or something and it hits Ryan in the head. And Homelander takes a beat and then just laser blasts his head off. Like, and then there's a couple beats after that, and he's kind of looking weird. And then the QAnon, whatever, stepdad is like
stepfather.
It's like, yeah. And then everyone starts cheering. And then you've got the Homelander like, huh, okay. And then it focuses on Ryan, and you see like this thin smile start to creep on his face. Like, oh, fuck.
Creepy. Like the Joffrey smile.
We're
totally.
so screwed.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So sorry for just doing that whole thing.
Janet's stepdad became the most hated person in the boys' universe.
Right. Yeah.
He was there already.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What are your final thoughts on the series overall, guys? I think that's where we got to go with that.
This again is I love this show just as a sort of, while I love the Marvel shows and everything, I just love that this is an antithesis to all of that stuff, that this is probably what would happen if superheroes existed here.
Right.
And it again, it's one of those unapologetic shows that does not pull any punches, that is okay with showing you the I mean, and it's, I hate to say the gritty truth of a fictionalized comic book, but I mean, come on, like this is you know, people are not perfect. You know, not everybody is Captain America. You know,
Mhm.
not everybody is Superman, right? And we all have, you know, people are flawed. Even the best of us have issues, and some of those who have issues also have superpowers. This is where it's going to happen. And you know, I mean, any chance to sort of shortchange a superpowered person to turn a profit line, you're going to do it.
Right.
If you're that
Right.
company. And it's just, you know, I don't know. It's a good fucking show is what it is, man.
It's the best show on TV. I really
It
felt
is
like
the best show on TV.
we probably could have had another 45 minutes on that finale because it seemed like it was rushed. There was a lot of stories they had to tie up in that time frame. I don't know why they kept Maeve alive. It seemed like that would have been the perfect send off for her.
She might be like a sort of like the ranch retreat for the boys next season,
right.
You know, where
right. Good call.
We need a place to go hide out.
Right. And she's got the spot. That's a good.
Yeah.
Like, son of a bitch. All right, come on.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, I 100% agree with you about they're not afraid to show anything, not even like the gritty truth or the inside of a penis or, you know, sex with the cephalopod or
right.
whatever, or like the Trump analog, the very real Trump analog that they confirmed of killing somebody on Fifth Avenue and getting away with it. Amazing show. The writing is top notch. The acting is phenomenal, and damn it, Emmy people, you better fucking get your shit together and get Anthony Starr on this list for next year. So yeah, best show on TV. Jovin, what you got?
Yeah, for sure. Again, best show on TV. The writing's fantastic. The acting is fantastic. A couple little bits that we didn't bring up is Kamiko with She's a Maniac was fucking awesome.
When she's killing all the guys while he's mixing.
She puts the headphones in and she gets the feet going and she just annihilates.
That's Flashdance, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that is from Flashdance. Yeah.
Right. Okay, good.
Another Maeve versus Huey line is you just need a shirt that says "Raw Dog Me, I'm a bottom."
Yeah. Right.
Oh, the one-liners from this show are fantastic.
They're so good.
And the epic Starlight and Huey in the car when he's like, "Okay, I know you're seething to tell it. Just say I fucking told you so." She's like, "I fucking told you so."
So good.
Which, if you've ever had an "I told you so" moment in your life, that's what it feels like. It's like just I'm waiting.
So satisfying.
I told you.
That's hilarious.
But
again, best show on TV. I cannot wait for the next season. It's awesome, and
this is one of the better.
Starr needs the Emmy for sure, but give my love up to Jensen Ackles, my boy. He did so good, so good.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, this is one of the better casts on television right now, and I think it's one of the, not only one of the best casts, but probably one of the better written shows that's out there. And again, it pulls the rug out of under sort of so many of those superhero tropes, and really just throws it straight in your face of, no, this is how it would be. It's just, it's great. It's, season 4 cannot come fast enough. So,
and likewise, season 5 of Stranger Things can't come fast enough.
Exactly. Right.
2024 apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got a ways to go.
Yeah.
You might see the acting debut or extra debut of one Adeline Harper Tussie. We'll see.
Hey, here we go. Final thoughts?
I give it a Billy Bob 10, a fucking 10.
Yep. Totally.
Bring back
Joe,
Soldier
final?
Boy. Bring back
Yeah.
Soldier Boy.
Hey, he's locked up. Definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
No,
You can't.
he's gonna come back. Eric
Yeah.
Kripke said we haven't seen the last of Soldier Boy, but
Yeah.
Well, it's the only way you're going to get to Homelander. They had the right idea. They just need to
Yeah.
make it work this time.
Yeah. All right. Well, what did you guys think of The Boys season 3? Let us know. What did you guys think of Stranger Things season 4 volume 2? Let us know. You can find us on Facebook at the Rum Regret podcast. 2,000 of you are following us on Twitter right now, which is awesome. Thank you so much. Twitter, that's Rum_regret. Nate, where can they follow you?
Sure, Avid Gamer on all your platforms of choice and all the social medias, AV1D Gamer.
Yeah. Joe, where can they get you?
at Joe Chickadee on all the socials or at joechickadee.com.
I am Crazy Drake on Facebook, Andrew Drake on Twitter, and until the next time, we have spoken.
Scosh fucking earth.